Hello everyone, I hope you have all been doing well. I wanted to talk about the books that I have been reading in May and a little bit about how life has been going and a bit about what I plan to be reading soon. So May has been the first full month of working my new full-time position, and I have managed to keep up with my short books reading goal, which is great. Usually what I've been doing is just starting a new one on each Tuesday since the month began on a Tuesday, and then I'll finish it by Friday or Saturday and have a couple days left for reading other things. So the first book that I completed was A Wizard of Earthsea by Ursula K. Le Guin. And this wasn't exactly next on my list since I've been trying to go in order from smallest to slightly bigger, but I was really in the mood for fantasy, so I read this one and got exactly what I wanted. This was my first Ursula K. Le Guin book. I have read a short story of hers that is based in the same world called Dragonfly, and I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was written really well, and sometimes it did take a bit more focus to stay with the book, but it was really rewarding, and I definitely look forward to reading more by her. Then the next book that I completed was Franny and Zooey by J.D. Salinger. This is the second book of his that I've read, the first one being, of course, Catcher in the Rye, which I read in high school and have reread since then. I have mixed feelings about this book. I really enjoyed the first part, Franny, and was more interested in her story than her brother Zooey's story. And in the second part, which is longer, there are sections where Zooey just goes on and on about philosophy or religion, and I was just more interested in what Franny was going through. But overall, this did go really quickly, and I do have another Salinger book to get through soon, and I think there is more about them in that book. The next book that I picked up was The Optimist's Daughter by Eudora Welty. This is the first thing I've read by Eudora Welty, and mainly I wanted to read this book because it shows up in Gilmore Girls. Rory is seen reading it on her bed, I believe, and I probably came across this at a library book sale or a thrift store or something and recognized it. I kind of had mixed feelings about this book too. I did overall enjoy it, and I thought it was really interesting how the main character says almost nothing throughout the entire book, and then towards the end you really get to get inside her head and feel what is going on. That said, I think the book could have been even shorter. It's not very big, and I heard that it was originally a short story that she then rewrote a little bit longer for publication, and I think you can kind of tell. Some of the scenes are just a bit repetitive, and the dialogue is repetitive sometimes. So overall, I'm glad I read it, but I will not be holding on to this one. And the fourth and last short book that I completed in May was In the Skin of a Lion by Michael Ondarcha. This is the second book I've read by him. I absolutely loved The English Patient, and it's probably one of my top 10 books. This book was written before The English Patient, and I didn't like it as much. The writing is very beautiful, but I never really felt that connected to the characters or invested in the plot, and sometimes it was a little confusing what was happening and when it occurred in the timeline. And by the end, you're left with questions about why certain things happened. I definitely want to read more books by him, and I have a couple more that I own, so we'll see if those ones do better with me. So that puts me at 20 short books read for the whole year, which is right on track for reading 4 per month. And on my extra days when I was ahead, I have been reading book 6 in Outlander, which is A Breath of Snow and Ashes. Right now, I am just past the 25% mark, and I think this might be my least favorite of the books so far. It starts out in the same setting that the books have been in for the last couple books, and when the first 3 books were just like zooming from place to place and even time to time, the last couple books have just been slow and less exciting, although of course there is excitement. I'm just ready to go somewhere else with these books. And I did just get past a section that contains some excitement, but it's not really the good kind of excitement. It's very tough to get through, and there's some criticism about the books that I was in denial of, but they were right. I'll link it down below, but trigger warning for rape. I'm planning to get halfway through this book by the end of May. I was originally thinking I would finish it in May, but I just haven't really been able to get through it that quickly, so I think I will aim to finish by the end of June. And the other book that I have been reading is Howard's End by E.M. Forster, and I wasn't really planning to pick this one up anytime soon, but I was looking at my Goodreads and saw that it was the most recently added book to my to-be-read shelf, which confused me because I thought it was already on my shelf and I didn't recall adding it anytime recently, but I think I figured out that I had entered a giveaway for it, so that added it back to the top of my list in another edition. And there was a day at work before I started my new full-time position where I was at one of our slowest locations on its slowest day and there was nothing to do. So I opened up Tumblr Book Cloud and saw that Howard's End was on there and decided to start reading it. And I've actually stuck with it and started reading it in the Libby app instead. And this is not a video that is sponsored by Libby. I'm a little bit tired of those and hearing the same 2-minute spiel about Libby every single time. But anyways, Libby is a good app, and I am somewhere past the halfway mark. There's no percentage or time remaining like the Kindle app, but I will get through it eventually, maybe by the end of June as well. And I have been enjoying it. There are some sections that I think could probably be edited out, but I am interested in the characters and the overall arch of the story. I also wanted to just add in quickly that in July I am planning to reread Wuthering Heights, and some of you may already know why, and that is because July 30th, 2018 is the 200th anniversary of Emily Bronte's birth. So in honor of that, in July I will be reading through the annotated Wuthering Heights, which is an edition that I haven't read yet, so I think it will be really interesting. If you don't know already, Wuthering Heights is my favorite book of all time. #1 without a doubt. So if you want to read Wuthering Heights in July, I encourage you to do the same. I am not doing any kind of official read-along or anything, but I'm sure many other people will be reading Wuthering Heights in July as well. So as far as non-reading things go, I haven't really been playing Assassin's Creed since becoming full-time. I did squeeze in a couple hours a couple nights ago, which was fun, but overall that has fallen off of my priority list since I have become a little bit more busy. But I have been playing the 2 Harry Potter games on my phone, Hogwarts Mystery and Fantastic Beasts Cases. Hogwarts Mystery is kind of frustrating because you can't do a lot because the energy points go very quickly and take a long time to come back. And Fantastic Beasts is a lot better with that. You get way more energy to start with, and you don't have to use 5 points to do one action. And you get them back a lot quicker. And if you have any reservations about Fantastic Beasts because of certain persons in the movie, I will just say this game has no recognizable characters. I have been doing some knitting. I finished the brioche cowl slash scarf, and here is the final product. I'm really happy with it, and I'm just a little bit sad that it's too warm to actually wear it now, but I will definitely be wearing it this winter. Right after I finished that, I could not wait to start working on my next project, which is the Ivy cardigan by the Blue Mouse Knits, I think is the right channel name. I will link her down below. This is a free pattern that was featured on the Hook Nook's new website. So this is a cardigan with just a really pretty lace detail, and this is one front panel that I have done, and I am about halfway done with the other panel, and then I'll do the back and the sleeves, and I'm really happy with it. I've never done any knitting like this before, but it's so easy, especially after finishing the brioche one. Oh my gosh, this just is flying by, and I've been really enjoying it. I have been watching the second season of Handmaid's Tale while working on this, and now back to The West Wing. I don't know if I've mentioned, but I am watching through The West Wing for the first time and really enjoying it. So that's kind of what I have been up to lately. Let me know what you have been reading and working on and watching and playing, and let me know if you've read any of the books that I mentioned and what your thoughts were. I would love to hear from you guys. So with that, that is all I have for this video, and I will see you next time. Bye.